Hey yo, I'm Solicitus Walks, bringing you live for the very first time, in my newly renovated room. Of course, I'll be cutting out every once in a while, so bear with me when it happens. Not like you guys care about my life or anything. I do. That's not directly related to Danganronpa Kill Cure. Just need to get this off my chest. First off, face reveal. Not much face, covering most of myself, because if I show my entire face, most of you wouldn't even watch my videos anymore. So yeah, I like self-confidence. Enough about someone boring who's also trash and comes up with terrible conjectures and lacks basic English understanding to the English language, and I'm sorry for wasting your time with baseless, useless information about myself. Not like you care or anything. I don't know why I even started talking about myself. Nothing interesting about a guy like me. I mean, I'm so stupid. I don't even know what a Super Bowl was until last year. I'm irrelevant in everything recent happening in the news and have no talents whatsoever. Enough about me, let's get started, shall we? In this video, it's going to be different than my last two videos. Just going to be me talking about the stuff I mentioned in the title. Which means, first off, my killing order predictions. If you watched my other two videos, doubt you would watch it, let alone the entire thing for both videos. I did state in those videos who I think would survive and who would die. But this time I'm going to state the killing order. And I haven't discussed who I think will be a mastermind yet, so I'll do that in this video as well. I see a lot of people predicting who would die and who would live to see the end of the day, and what order they would die in. What the heck did I just say? I'll be doing that as well. However, things need to be made clear. I'll be making two different killing lists. What? How come you get to make two different lists? That's cheating. That was terrible acting. Hear me out. I'm going to be making two lists. One of those lists is comprised of cliche picks. In other words, it's probably a list that is most likely to happen according to the public, you guys. I see comments, pictures, videos of many predictions, and this list is comprised of the most common picks I see for killers, victims, and survivors. What did I just say? I have no idea what I just said. I don't even know what I even explained. I'll explain more on it later when I actually do the list. The second list we'll be talking about later. So for now, we'll be going to the first list. Woo, yay, let's go. For the first list, I'll be going in order of death. So first victim, first killer, second victim, second killer, and so on. It'll be quick and very little explanation will be given, as I'll explain everything in the second list. This is what I believe most of the viewers would think the killing order is. First victim, Shiori Nakagawa, former ultimate instructor. First killer, Uda Kawagichi, ultimate epidemiologist. Second victim, Iki Namiki, ultimate angler. Second killer, Moe Soga, ultimate local hero. Third victim, Fan Long, ultimate human subject. Fourth victim, Kunitaro Higa, ultimate pawnbroker. Third and the fourth killer, Busho Soji, ultimate yoga guru. Fifth victim, Chikuma Konishi, ultimate extreme couponer. Fifth killer, Yato Stone Crown, ultimate mayor. Sixth victim, Naomi Danjuma, ultimate architect. And sixth killer, Hide Osako, ultimate theorist. The survivors are Shoko Otaki, ultimate forum admin. Oniji Itagaki, ultimate tailor. Manzo Shibue, ultimate stuntman. And Maru Yokokome, ultimate activist. Oh, and Toya Imamura, ultimate Broadway dancer. As for the mastermind, I see a lot of people choosing Hiroke Uzuki, ultimate apprentice. That's what I think the most common list is going to be among the fandom. Now, prepare yourself. Things are about to get heated up. Now that I've done this, it is now time to explain to you all how I think this list is the most inaccurate killing order of all time. First off, let me clarify why I call this list cliche. It's because your picks, yes, you picked who lives and who dies, who kills and who is killed because of these cliches. It's because you are using references from the other Danganronpas to affect your decisions. I noticed this when I read in the comments that they believe someone will die because of similar traits of someone else who died in a different Danganronpa. For example, we're going to start off with the first victim of what this list has said, Shiori. The most obvious choice and most definitely cliche of being killed first has got to be someone who is important to the cast, and most people believe it'll be Shiori. Now that's easy to believe because, well, it's the teacher. No one in the entire cast will hate a killing game among the students more than the actual teacher. So most people assume that Shiori would be the first to go because, again, it's cliche. In every Danganronpa in the past, someone important is killed first. Closest friend, leader of the pack, the key to ending the killing game, were all killed first because they would drastically change the killing game in the wrong way if they were kept alive. Same could be said to Shiori, which is why most of you think she will die, and at the very least be the first one to die as well. However, that's the problem. I've been contemplating for a bit and realized this series is not made by Chunsoft. This is a whole different group with whole different students, whole different ideas, voice actors, communities, plots, cast, school, animation, and much more. If all of this is different, then what makes you think who dies and who doesn't wouldn't change us all? As well, English. Let me ask you something. When you first played / watched Danganronpa, could you tell who would have died based off the other killing games? You couldn't. There were no other killing games to base your logic off of because that's the first Danganronpa you've seen. Chunsoft, oh god. Every student had a fair chance to live except for the protagonist because people believed you couldn't kill the protagonist. Now that you've seen everything Chunsoft has thrown at you, your choices are affected by it, and you believe that. Favorites will die, the calm ones will be evil, the most hated characters become the most loved, and your best husbando will waifu in the end. The mastermind is again Chuko Enoshima. Get those thoughts out of your head right now. I'm making my own list right now, an unbiased, unaffected, untraced killing order prediction that is going to be the most logical, most likely to happen, most prominent, and research-based prediction a conspiracist as myself can make in history. Prepare yourself well, my friends, because you're about to be confused the hell out. First victim, Oniji Itagaki, Ultimate Tailor. Want me to explain why? Alright, but let me add this too. Second victim, Busho Saji, the ultimate yoga guru. Whoa, what? 2 victims in the first trial? Nani? How do I start this? Let's get the rundown on how this killing would go on. So Mano, Kuma, whatever they're going to be, announces the killing game, right? Mayhem happens, blah blah blah. First death. Oniji is killed by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Everyone panics, mayhem happens again, but this time Busho shows up and says, I'm sensing high levels of tension within the room. Perhaps some recreation is in order. Just saying, I didn't audition for the voice acting for a reason. It's trash. Everyone calms down, alright? They proceed with the investigation, desperately fighting past the despair of their fallen comrades, and then boom! Busho is also found dead. What's the deal? Why would there be 2 victims in the first trial? Motive. The very first motive people are given is to escape the place. You must kill one of your classmates and avoid prosecution during the class trial. If you're not voted as the blackened, everyone else gets executed and you get off scot-free. Again, terrible acting. Anyone, anywhere, who is living in constant fear of potentially being killed in the place you are forced to live for the rest of your lives, will do a lot of things to get out of that place. At least one of those 17 students is bound to crack and resort to murder in order to get out of there. And Oniji was the unfortunate soul to fall at the hands of the killer. Once the killer did his bidding, he does everything in his power to prevent others from figuring out the truth. But why did he kill 2 people? Wouldn't that make it harder for him to get away with murder if it just leaves more evidence? Because the second victim is Busho. Imagine it. Someone lies dead in front of you. In any sense, everyone panics their own way. It's the first death they witness, and it's one of their friends, probably. But then Busho is calm. He calms everyone else down too, and will probably say, everything will be fine. Let's just investigate, and we'll bring this killer to justice. Again, terrible acting. With someone like that in control of the situation, it probably hinders your chances of escape. Plus the fact that Busho seems too calm. He might know something pertaining to the case. In other words, he might be a witness. Witnesses cannot leak their information and knowledge in the case, or else the killer's chances of escaping are zero. And that's how Busho was killed, and why there are 2 victims in the first trial. As for the person I would like to call as the killer, the second killer, Yato Stone Crown Ultimate Mayor. Huh? What about the cliche where the big strong burly man dies at the 4th trial? That's the problem. You think something will happen because it happened in the past. We are refreshing here. These predictions are based off logic, not reoccurrences of past killing games, and Yato fits the bill for this trial. What may seem as a light-hearted and righteous soul that you guys believe to stay alive for the most of the killing game, and be that one guy is just sacrificed themselves for the greater good, they will meet their demise early on. But why Yato? Remember his talent. Ultimate Mayor? Yeah, that's the reason. For someone whose talent not only involves themselves, but the livelihood of others as well, why wouldn't they want to escape? No other talent involves the lives of people close to them. There may be some, but compared to Yato, they're mere pebbles to the mountain man, and that's the basis of the first killing. Third victim, Fan Long, Ultimate Human Subject. Don't worry, there's no double kill here. Fan would easily be the next target. Now that the killing game has started, more motives are added, making more people wanting to escape. And who else would be the easiest kill than Fan? Small, defenseless, easy to manipulate. Choose your one-way ticket out of this dump. You might be thinking, hey, isn't it cliche? It was obvious to many people that Fan would die. That's true, but don't you want to know why she has to die? There's also a cliche in movies where the weakest link survives in the end. For example, children learn to lack basic physical capabilities. The protagonist, who was a nobody, and how the strongest, fearless men and women, burly ex-marines and operatives, and probably the most athletic black guy you ever met have to die in every one of those movies? That's because this isn't one of those movies. This ain't some miracle fairy tale where one thing happens because it's the will of the audience, or if they kill off one character, it stops the whole fandom from continuing on. This is survival of the fittest, natural selection, coup de grace. I'm basing this off logic. What would really happen if this were real life? That's the difference in my powers and your powers. The difference between conspirational thinking and average thinking. That's what will make my list accurate. Alright, enough rambling on about how much better I am than some talentless scrubs who think highly of themselves. I made Fan's death very clear, so now on to the killer. Who do you believe is the most selfish, heartless, yet logical student that could have committed such a terrible act? In my opinion, it's gonna be our third killer, Iki Namiki, Ultimate Angler. Whoa, what? Iki, my Iki is selfish and heartless? First of all, do you even know Iki? If you read the Tumblr description of him and think he'll be an innocent version of Ryoma you just can't hate or believe to be the killer, then you're reading it wrong. You may see the parts about him missing obvious details to ensure his clumsiness, his story for suspense to ensure his teasing nature, and his interest in shonen anime to ensure his awesomeness. I do think that's awesome. But skip over these parts, collecting his thoughts for moderate periods of time before speaking, which could mean his mind is very broad. Enough room to, I don't know, come up with a good murder plan? This is backed up by he often notices obscure details that everyone else misses, which means he can think about the positive and negatives of staying at Video Kukawa Academy, the positive and negatives of killing someone, their friend, a student, Fan. And since he's unpleasantly reserved, he doesn't share what's on his mind most of the time, making him an already suspicious character who hides his thoughts. Please don't tell me someone like that isn't capable of killing Fan. I'll leave that thought to you. On to the next. Fourth victim, Maru Yokokome, Ultimate Activist. It is now more difficult to actually place the order of each victim and killer from this point on, since there's a huge lack of information on each character. So compared to the previous trials, these will have a significant decrease in criticism and explanation. As for why I think Maru will be the next victim, I have to say, she is probably the most likely next target because of her annoying nature. Have you ever had that one person in your group of friends at school that just won't shut up? Or that one classmate in class that stretches lectures longer because they ask way too many questions? Just me? Whatever. Well, that's what I see in Maru. A painful throbbing in your ear because of her megaphone, her attitude to comment on everything, and the worst part, you basically had to live with her for possibly the rest of your life. So what's the win-win situation here? Murder. Easy. If you kill her and get away with it, no more Maru, no more killing game. If you don't get away with it, you listen to agony for your other classmates and you can rest in peace. Sorta. This may seem stupid to you, but you have no idea how many times I thought about stabbing the idiots around me. Oh god, I'm having long flashbacks. Or something. It's more on a personal basis for this victim than actual research, but I don't care. It's my list. As for the killer, I see two people who have short fuses, Uda and Shoko. But the killer I'll be choosing out of these two will have to be fourth killer, Uda Kawagichi, ultimate epidemiologist. It was actually really hard to choose which one of these relatable characters would be the first to blow, so I relied on their talents. For Shoko, a forum admin doesn't exactly have any merits close to murder, unless he's the administrator for like the Saw franchise, although I can see where he could have gotten his rude behavior. As a forum admin, you deal with idiots every day, warranting why his attitude is so attitude. On the other hand, an epidemiologist may have some experience with death, as diseases do cause death. So they would lessen Uda's fear for killing someone. If I were to put a chart for which one's most likely to kill, Shoko would merit a 33% chance of becoming the next blackened, but Uda merits a 51% chance of being it. You must be thinking, even though you probably aren't, why the other remaining students only add up to 16%. Quick math. Seems a bit false statistics to me. Keep in mind that this is the Maru that they're going to be killing. The reason Uda is so much higher comes to the fact that Maru is the ultimate activist, meaning someone who wants to make change to the current government system. Wanting to make protests to current laws or unfair acts. And there's a chance that Uda finds out that Maru had been wanting to make a change to the funding for disease control. Well, you could argue that activists could also want to make changes to the internet to affect Shoko's job as well, but that already happened. So I doubt Maru could make Shoko's job any worse. So I'm gonna say the most likely culprit for killing Maru is Uda. Your brain must be fried right now from taking in too much information about complicated things, so we're gonna be taking a break here. What? A break? Impossible. Hey, idiots need time to calibrate their brains. This will be a good intermission. I could cram so much into one video. So I'll be splitting this death prediction into two parts. Sorry for delaying something that was supposed to be very simple, but school is starting soon, so there will be some delaying happening here, but hey, I did already give one of my lists, so that should be good enough for you guys for now.